All right, everyone, welcome back. We have a 15 Ford Escape 2-liter gasoline engine. Customer says sputtering around 30 miles an hour, almost feels like a misfire. Someone else told her transmission. It is possible to have a low-speed misfire and not have an engine light. Also, on my road test, I couldn't really say that it's a transmission problem, but it was very erratic. So I'm gonna try and slow down. What I really think this car needs is to be driven hard. This is an older woman, and I feel that the adaptive strategies of the transmission and the engine need to be reset. That's one. And I'm sure this thing's due for a software update as well. And most vehicles need multiple software updates, and the customers just never go for them because they cost money. It's either at 30 miles an hour, the transmission is trying to decide if it should be in third or fourth gear. I'm not very familiar with the transmission. If it's a 5-speed, then it's 4 and 5. If it's a 4-speed, it's between 3. It's trying to decide if it should be in third or fourth at 30 miles an hour. And if you drove this car aggressively, you would never notice it. If you drive like an older person who's in no hurry to go nowhere, then you will notice this. And your transmission and your engine start to learn these driving habits and behaviors for some reason or another. It's just the way that it is. But if you drive it like, I say old people, and I'm not, classifying anybody like that. Believe it or not, some of these vehicles' adaptive learning strategies learn your behaviors and wind up being annoying. And sometimes they just have gaps in information in their programming because there's errors and they need to be corrected. And that's why there's software updates or updates to realize that, hey, at a certain amount of miles, we're developing a bug and we need to correct that. So it's 58,796. Do I feel that the transmission's wiped out? No. Do I feel that because she really doesn't drive this car and it's probably never had a software update or an adaptive strategy update, probably could use a set of spark plugs at 60,000 miles of really not driving it. So if I drive this under normal conditions, I definitely can drive around it. If you drive it real easy and baby the car, you feel the weird behaviors that she's talking about. But it doesn't miss a beat if you beat the snot out of this car. And this car's probably never seen wide open throttle ever since this woman who's owned it. And she's an older woman. She's older than me. So I'm 52. She's probably 62, or something like that, or if not older. So we may be able to actually just correct it with some adaptive strategy resets and possibly a software update. I need to look to see if there's any TSBs about what we're feeling. It almost feels like a shudder, but it's not really a shudder. You could mistake it as a misfire too. It could be a low-speed misfire because she really doesn't drive this car. And the spark plugs might have some buildup on them or carbon. And I don't get to drive this car every day like she does. It could be more violent than I'm experiencing as well. 2015 Ford Escape. Let's kick it in high gear here. Transmission seems to be all there on wide open throttle. And her initial complaint is around 30, and if I slow down to 30, which is really hard to do, but I'm going to get in the right-hand lane and try and just go at 30. So obviously she spends a lot of time at 30 miles an hour, if that gives you any indication. I'll tell you, I don't spend any time at 30 miles an hour. worse. That was at 43. I felt it. Try and slow down to 30. So my brother's F-150 had a similar problem because, you know, he doesn't drive very far to work and it's all back roads. That his F-150 was a very similar issue, and it was a transmission that needed an update that resolved it, and they did that when the truck was brand new, and then now he's 100 and something thousand miles. He said he started to feel it again, and I said, well, it could be the transmission is, an issue as well at this mileage. It's not horrible. Like before, it was very, you could feel it falling in and out of overdrive at 30 miles an hour. It was horrible. And this is when he first had the truck, and then he took it back to Ford and they did a software update in it, and it's been good forever and ever and ever. But now he's feeling it. I don't think he's feeling the same exact problem. He's feeling probably the torque converter, or the transmission, or valve body is having issues. I suspect, but I really don't know. I'm just driving through Pep Boys parking lot. They're busy. It's crazy. They're busy. I'm busy. They're slow. I'm slow. So let's try and get 30 miles an hour again. I don't believe at 60,000 miles that transmission fluid service will fix it. I mean, we certainly can try that too. I would say it's probably never been done at 30 and now it's 60. And transmission fluid today, it just doesn't hold up to the abuse of these engines and transmissions. The power of these vehicles today that they produce is just, you see it with GMs, they're taking the factory fluid out and putting Mobil 1 transmission fluid in to correct issues, or to band-aid issues. So the importance of servicing your transmission is just as important as changing your oil, and you should never change your transmission fluid. And you'll hear tons of people say, oh, I never did it, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the first time you eat a $6,000 or $10,000 transmission not under warranty, you'll be sure to change your transmission fluid sooner than later. A couple $100 versus a couple thousands is the smarter thing to do for maintenance. Oh yeah, it's definitely getting worse. So that's definitely transmission shudder. The longer I drive it, the worse it's getting. So more saddle time showed that it's the transmission shuddering. So what I'm going to advise is a trans service and reset the adaptives for everything. Maybe a software update, and if that doesn't resolve it, you need a transmission. And it's still going to need a software update. Alright guys, thanks for watching.